Hi, just like to do some quick, simple football maths and share it with people. So, one of my big bugbears, if you know me, is game time for players. And I've just broken it down in stats so people actually understand what people or players actually get. So, I've used 5v5 format as an example, um, mainly because it's the best example to use. The others, the stats are even worse when you do the comparison. So on this table here, I've said 5v5. I've done it, obviously, it says per team, but it's per squad. 7, 8, and 9 players, which is quite typical from what I see around grassroots football. Most clubs then play 40-minute games. Okay, so the division is if for outfield players, this doesn't include goalkeepers. So if they rotate as a goalkeeper, again, the stats are even the lower outfield, or you might have a fixed goalkeeper anyway. But if you have 7 players in your squad in a 40-minute game, then you'll get 22 minutes outfield on average. Okay, 20 if there's 8 and 17 if there's 9. All right. The ball in play. Now, this stat obviously does vary, and I do think the recent introduction of kick-ins instead of throw-ins will increase this slightly. But the stats over the past few years from all the data we've seen is ball is in play typically 50% of the time. So that's from goal kicks, corners, throw-ins. I know it's kick-ins now, but just after goals are scored, restarts, subs, etc. So generally, ball in play is about half. That's right the way up to like Premier League level as well. Then. So next stat then is where it gets a bit complicated. Oh, it's quite simple really, because 50% ball rolling time means there's 11 minutes out of the 22 the ball's actually in play while your child is on the pitch. Okay, so divide that equally between the amount of players on the pitch, i.e., 10. Yeah, it means in that 40-minute game, your child will be on the ball if all things are equal. And again, it's not, because there's always a dominant player in most teams. So, but if all things were equal and they all played exactly the same game time, which again we know don't happen, they'd be on the ball if there was only 7 of them. 1 minute, well, 1.1 minute, right? Which is just crazy stats. A minute if there's 8 players in the team, and it's 51 seconds if there's 9 players in the team. 51 seconds of actually time on the ball. And then we wonder why some kids aren't improving as quickly as others. I say it's really is madness when you break it down the stats. So in 51 minutes, assuming they touch the ball once a second, it's like 50 touches in your 40 minutes. Adding your warm ups, and by the time you get there, in like your some players only 1 hour game of the week, they're touching the ball for 51 seconds at a time, which is just crazy. How can we improve that? That's what we need to get at then. So simple ways. Obviously, easiest one is having less subs. Don't have big squads. I know some clubs have to have them for other reasons, and it'll probably make training a bit better if there's a bigger number rather than a smaller number. But yeah, just on game day, and I don't mean leaving players out at home and rotating them around. That doesn't help the kids either over the full season. This is just having smaller teams or form a second team. League I used to be involved in. We used to encourage once we started seeing teams with 9 players. It's like, get another player or two and start a second team and give these players more game time. Leading into the next one, obviously longer game time. Quite simple. You play for longer, they'll have more time on the ball. There's an FA rule that states that players of this age, 5v5, 7s and 8s, they can only play for 40 minutes. Now, people have taken that as that's how long the match should be, okay? But it's not. It's how long each player should play for. So we could maximise that game time for individual players if you're using subs by playing longer periods. I was involved in a league, and when we started it, we used to have a 51-minute game. So players then, if we used the example we did, was if they had 7 players, i.e. 2 subs, over 3/3 of a game at 17 minutes, each players then would get 34 minutes on, and they'd be off for 17. Okay, obviously that goes down the more subs you have, but maximise that game time for the players on the pitch. Okay. Easy answer, and obviously where I'm getting to is playing other formats. All right, so obviously we do 3v3, and this is our general program that we do on a weekly basis. So obviously 3 per team. I say our sessions, we generally don't have subs on most team. Tournaments are slightly different, people bring subs, but in our sessions, we generally have it there where the players are always playing. So we all play for 50 minutes in an hour. So in an hour slot, we'll do 8-minute games, 2 minutes off. So that obviously equals 50 over the hour. Ball in play, using our air pitches. Again, from the stats we've done, the ball's in play 96% of the time. So that gives 48 minutes ball rolling time compared to, what did we say on one of the other slides? What was it? 8.5, 10, 11 minutes. So even at the best at 11 minutes, we're still, over 4 times ball rolling time, which then automatically increases to how long your child is on the ball, and that then is 8 minutes. So 8 minutes compared to 1 or 1.1, which was the best on the other format, is just a massive difference. So just think how many extra touches they're getting on the ball, how many times they're going to be in a position to make a decision about what to do, to repeat an action, whether that's a skill, whether that's a pass, whether that's defending, whether that's a shot. They're going to repeat this action so many more times in a game. Now, I've not done these stats on here, but we do a lot of this in Germany. And they did this comparison over a season. This is just on one game. Right? They did it over a 30-week season, and the increase in numbers was just unbelievable. Right? The difference between time on the ball, times actually playing, physical activity over a full season was just huge. Right? And you can see how that would be when in just one game, it's almost 8 times as much of time on the ball. It's just madness. So when you're playing your 5v5 game, all right, so the FA have put out obviously the new rules this year, and inside that, the document that they sent out, they did encourage playing other formats. And they encourage playing 3v3 and 4v4, or anything, okay? If you've got subs on the sidelines, and I was speaking to a coach yesterday about this, and I was having, I know some places you can't do it, so it is venue specific. But if you've got room, right, go and let your subs go and play, a 2v2. Okay, so they're playing. And if you're going to then say, oh, yeah, but they'll be tired when they come on, there will be the first week. Once they get used to these extra, playing time, it just becomes natural to them. They get tired because they're used to only playing 3-4 minutes at a time. Right, there really is a problem. But over time, you'll see these kids, whether it's the fitness levels, their intensity levels, you'll see them improve, right, by doing that. So rather than having subs on the sideline pecking your head when am I coming on, kicking balls around and going on the pitch, go and set them up another little game and say, right, 5 minutes over there, you're going to be playing this, right? Or another idea is split the pitch up. So if you've got 8 players and they've got 8 players, why not play 2 4v4 games rather than 1 5v5? So then everyone is active all the time, right? Have more breaks, yeah, because you're not going to have time to rotate, subs off. So do that, but just try and maximise that time on the ball that players are going to get, all right? So using these smaller formats, coming to one of our sessions, I say that's what we do all the time, and we see it. We see kids then go from 3v3 back out into normal game, and coaching the parents say to us all the time just how much their intensity levels improve, how much more confident they are on the ball. I was with a group a couple of weeks ago, and they had 12 in their squad. And I'm looking at the kids and I'm going, it's a lot, right? So some kids don't get picked every week. So straight away over the season, they're losing out on game time. And then some of the kids, and you can see why they're just not improving much at all, because they're just not playing, any football. There's that rule. It's a starting across like all sports or anything you can do. If you do, your 10,000 hours, then you'll become, an expert at this game. And 10,000 hours, again, it works out to like 18 minutes a day. and you'll be in the top 5% in the world at anything you do. All right. And, we're failing some players by not giving them this game time. So they're coming to matches and they're being on the ball for 1 minute. Right? It just sounds crazy. It looks better. It's a big game and it's what they should be playing. Right? But trust me, I say players, they don't want to be on the ball and doing things. They want to be going home, telling parents and they've scored some goals, they've beat some players, they've made some tackles, right? And you'll see the improvement in them so much quicker. So give it a try. Let us know how you get on with it. But yeah, can you reduce the amount of subs? Can you agree to play longer times? And can you try other formats? Cheers for now. Bye.